Now let's come back to the paddle. We've got the motion, but what we need to do is we need to do collision detection to find out if the ball is hitting the paddle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back to control and I'm going to look for an if statement, and then I will find out if I am touching the paddle. And over here I have I'm in the paddle. That's a mistake. So let me not do that there. Let's make sure I have the ball selected, because I have to put my code in the ball. And from the ball, I'm going to select my if statement. And then I'm going to go to the sensing and sense if I am touching the paddle. And there's the paddle. So I can't touch the paddle from the paddle. So if I'm touching the paddle, I want to change my direction. Now, if I was coming in a direction moving down, I don't want to just turn and move back. I want to move off in something called the angle of incident. This is something from physics, which you could look up, the angle of incidence. So I want to bounce off, and the way I achieve that is I find the direction I'm currently moving. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to motion, and I want to select point and direction. I want to find my current direction. So if I scroll down here, I will find my direction. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to operators, and I will subtract 180 degrees from the current direction that I'm traveling, and I'm going to point in that direction, because the direction, this is 180 degrees, but I want to find the direction I'm traveling, subtract 180 degrees from that current direction, and then I'll bounce off in the correct way. So let's add this to here and test it. Boom, it's bouncing now. And it's bouncing again. It's a little bit up and downy. And so now we can see that it's working. Now I want to make a game. So when I have a game, I want to have some values. And the values I'm going to have in this game, I'm going to store those in something called variables. A variable is a named location to store some values for the duration of the game. So the variables I'm going to have will be, I can click on here and I can make a variable, give it a name, but I've already created these. These are the ones that are already in there. So the variables I want to create are score, so that I can have a score. And I'm going to also make a variable for the number of lives. So I'll give myself 10 lives, and we'll end the game when I've run out of lives. And I will also vary the speed just to make it a little bit more interesting. So let me create all of those variables now, and they come up here. I can, if I wish, I can tick them off to make them invisible. There's lives gone, but they still work. But I'm going to have them showing for now. I'll just tidy this up and delete that one. I don't need that. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to set an initial value for all of these. So I'll set lives, and I'll duplicate those, and I'm going to set my score. I'm going to set the number of lives, and I'm going to set the speed. So let's start with the score at 0, and the number of lives, I'm going to give myself 10 lives to begin with, and I'll set the speed at 4. And then this is where I'm moving the number of steps. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the variable speed, and I'm going to put that in here. So when I change these values, the values will change elsewhere. So I'm going to insert that in here. And then when I start, it's going to set off these scores. So if I start, I see that my lives go to 10 and my speed is going to 4. And that's the values that I want to work with in this game so far.